Do you believe that you survived cancer because of the power of these seeds?
That is my story. That's part of my story.
Jason Vale grew up in Queens, New York, and was an arm wrestling world champion. But at just 18 years old, he received the devastating news that he had cancer. And the diagnosis was not good.
At 18 years old, I had the Askins tumor. It was only 20 to 40 people had it. They all died within a year. Within a year.
I mean, that must have been very tough for you.
No, I don't know why. I just believed I was going to be fine.
Jason beat the cancer after having rounds of radiation and chemotherapy. He went back to his life as a professional arm wrestler. But then the cancer came back.
At 19 years old, it came back again.
Wow.
I was able to read the CAT scan. I remember the pain. I saw it, and I went home. I said, Mom, the tumor's back again. And it was in my spine that time.
But Jason had heard about studies claiming that apricot seeds help with cancer. He decided to try that instead of the traditional treatments he did the first time. And to many people's surprise, Jason said he beat the cancer again.
How do you think they've helped you there?
Well, I didn't die. I got to keep arm wrestling.
Jason's life was changed when he believed he found a new natural answer for cancer and wanted to share it with the world. So he began to sell the seeds on his site, Apricots from God. The problem? The FDA has not approved this as a cancer cure, and in fact says the seeds can be deadly if too many are ingested. Dr. Kian Vu explains the dangers.
The dangers of ingesting B17, particularly when you take it orally or by mouth, is it breaks down to hydrogen cyanide. Cyanide is a poison. What are some symptoms? Headaches, so you can get some sweating, you can be very, very confused. But at high rates, your heart could stop, you can die, you can have seizures. So a lot of bad things could happen with cyanide poisoning.
But none of this stopped Jason, even with warnings from the government.
If you know it's illegal, why do you keep telling people you found a cure to cancer?
I don't say that. My story is there. I say it helped me. At the website, there's 1,000 pages at the website.
Let me just quote the website, okay?
Go ahead.
The answer to cancer is known, just a few seeds per day.
If one person died from these apricot seeds, they wouldn't even have a trial. They would just grab me and throw me in jail. But not one person they have that died.
But you understand that what's illegal about this isn't you just selling the product, it's how you're marketing it as a cure to cancer. That's illegal.
I don't say cure. What happens is people send in letters, and those letters get posted at the website. If they say cure, that's them.
A lot of people have been poisoned by it.
No, not poisoned.
Hundreds of people.
Upset stomach. Well, there's only
perhaps thousands of people.
They say the word poisoned, but no one died. And it's true, seeds can be pretty powerful.
No one that we know of.
Right, no one that we know of. But when you look up something like Vioxx, 40,000 people died from that. It was still on the market for 5 years.
And Jason also claims he has had no real complaints about any of his seeds or products he sells. In fact, that is why he says he's innocent and that he's actually helping people. The FDA disagrees.
When the FDA investigated you, they executed a search warrant on your mother's email address. Right. And they did find an email from a customer.
One email.
That said that they had been severely poisoned.
Right. I believe I called that person. Mm-hmm. She took, I think she took the B17. She felt nauseous for an hour or two. That was the extent of it. She used the word poisoned.
So you're saying that was the only complaint you've ever had in 20 plus years of selling these seeds?
No, I said there were people that said that they got nauseous, they got worried.
How many people?
Maybe 8, 9, 10 people out of hundreds of thousands of people.
So then what do you say to people who say that you are preying on people who are sick, people who are desperate to live another day, and people who will try anything?
Praying? Never.
But you're profiting.
Never.
The government said you made nearly $1 million over the past 6 years selling these seeds.
$1 million? No.
And some other items to go along with them.
I don't know the numbers, but that goes paying for the product, that goes paying for people packing things. When you say preying on people, I would never do that. I was a cancer victim. I just want to help people. That's all I want to do is help people and open their eyes to doing other things besides just chemo and radiation, which I don't even tell people not to do chemo and radiation. I did chemo and radiation when I was 19 years old. And I think it might have helped save my life for a few years until I found out about the seeds.
Now some of the New York papers are just flat out calling you a quack. When you hear these titles, how do you feel?
I laugh. These are terms that we used back in the Dark Ages. It's just ignorant people saying ignorant things. That's all it is.
Are you a con man?
If you think I'm a con man, then I don't know what to say. I mean,
Well, what's your motive? What's your motive here? What's your
You
motive?
see my heart. I'm throwing my heart out here. If you think I'm lying, then, you know, I don't know if you have a good, you know, I mean, you can tell. I'm going to let you answer that.
Adding another twist, it wasn't just Jason involved in selling seeds. The feds say his mom was too. She was also arrested and now awaits trial.
Are you worried that your mother, 77 years old, may have to go to prison because of this business?
I don't believe my mother's going to go to prison. My mother's tough. If my mother went to prison, I think she'd have a great time.
Oh, you never want your mom to go to prison. The whole thing is a fascinating story. Jason and his mother, by the way, are still in plea negotiations with the U.S. attorney and should be back in court next month. And we must remind everyone that the FDA and medical community say that apricot seeds are potentially very dangerous.
Yes.